I'm a dad. I got kids. And so sometimes we had to hire a babysitter. Now, we don't have to anymore. Our kids are older. But there's a lot of levels of babysitters. There's like the babysitters that can handle chaos. And there's the ones that you just make sure your kids are tired and they're about ready to go to bed for that babysitter. And you pay accordingly. And if you're going to be out a little longer, you get the better babysitter. So last night, the Cowboys dominate Washington 38-14. And I thought it was a perfect illustration of what Dak Prescott, the Cowboy quarterback, is. He had a running game to support him, 182 yards. He had a lead. He won the turnover battle. And he faced a so-so defense that was beat up. Dak is the babysitter where if your kids are bathed, if your kids have already done their homework and they're already a little tired, Dak can come over and he can turn on Netflix and find a movie. If Tom Brady's your babysitter, he knows CPR. He can drive and cook, fold linens. He's going to major in crisis management and knows the periodic chart unless there's a chemistry issue. It's a big difference. We went to every Dak Prescott win in his career. He's 19-9. And here's two things that happen with every Dak Prescott win on average. He gets at least 160 yards of run support. Last night, 180. He gets a couple of touchdown runs. Last night, he had 2. He gets 2 touchdowns on the ground. And they're plus 17 in the turnover battle. That's Dak. He's that. You got to give Dak a really strong running game and a couple of rushing touchdowns, and they've got to win the turnover battle, and he hopefully plays with a lead. He is the babysitter. If your kids are good, well-behaved, and already a little tired and bathed, he's perfect. Just got to put on a Netflix movie, it's all good. But if the kids go sideways, he's overwhelmed. If there's no running game, they lose the turnover battle. He's facing a fierce pass rush. It ain't going to work for Dak Prescott. If Dak's a babysitter, he still calls you occasionally and says, is it okay if your son bleeds from the ears? Brady never calls when he's babysitting. He asks things like, hey, can you put a fork down the garbage disposal? Brady never makes that call. Here's the reality of what Dak Prescott is. Last night is the perfect illustration. A beat-up defense. He got a running game. At the end of the night, he was 11 for 22, 102 yards, passer rating 93, 2 touchdowns, no big gaffes, ran for 30 yards. It was very Dakish. Now, you may say to yourself, Colin, you're being very critical, but I'm going to show you something. I consider Dak Prescott not to be a legend or a quarterback. I think he'll eventually be a nice B quarterback. Year 2, here's Andy Dalton, also a B quarterback, and Joe Flacco, also a B quarterback. In year 2, this is what they were. Well, what do you know? That's exactly where Dak Prescott is headed. Completing somewhere between 62 and 63% like Flacco and Dalton year 2. 18 touchdowns, 9 picks for Dak. Right along Flacco and Dalton and a passer rating 88. Virtually identical to Andy Dalton and Joe Flacco. He's not going to be a legend. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be, to me, Russell Wilson. He's going to be a Dalton. He's going to be a Flacco. By the way, Flacco, Super Bowl I when he had the right defense and the parts around him. It's a good place to be. It really is in the NFL. It is okay. He's not a game manager because he's got some skill. He can run. He can make throws. I don't consider Flacco or Dalton just game managers. They've won big games. But last night was the perfect illustration of what he really is. So the Cowboys won last night 38-14. Zeke was not there. Here's what last night proved. Everybody take a deep breath. It proved the NFL season is a really, really long journey. Just think about the Cowboys this year. They start out 2-3. They lose to Green Bay. They're 2-3. Zeke with legal issues. Oh, Cowboys are done. They're terrible. Season's over. And then they start rolling, win 3 straight, beat Kansas City on TV. They're 5-3. How about them Cowboys? Yeah. And then they lose 3 straight. They're 5-6. Dak's a bum. Let's bench him. Fire Jason Garrett. He can't coach. And then this morning, they're 6-6. It all lines up. They're still in the playoffs. I knew Dak Prescott was the man. It's a really long season. Take a deep breath, man. We just had the World Cup draw today. We know that's a long journey to get there. So's an NFL season. Dallas is 6-6. They're very much alive. Here are the 3 teams that Dallas is chasing: Detroit, Seattle, and Atlanta. I think they're all losing this weekend. Detroit's losing at Baltimore, Seattle's losing to the Eagles, and Atlanta loses to Minnesota. If that happens, Dallas is 1 game out. And have you seen Dallas's schedule down the stretch? Sean Lee's probably back as they face the awful Giants and Geno Smith. Then they go to Oakland, again with Sean Lee, Ty Smith. Then Seattle, Zeke is back. And then Philadelphia could be resting their starters. Okay, if you start looking at all these schedules, they're fine. And the other thing is, 24 hours ago, everybody wanted Jason Garrett fired. Take a deep breath. Can I defend Jason Garrett here? Since he got hired, Jason Garrett's winning percentage is 10th best in the NFL. So that means top third of the league since he was hired winning percentage, since 2011. He's had 3 Pro Bowlers on defense in that time. Seattle's had about 10. He's had Sean Lee, DeMarcus Ware, and Jay Ratliff, who came from the previous administration. So without a great defense, Jason Garrett's top third in the league in winning percentage. He's a B head coach, and Dak is a B to B minus quarterback. That's reality. And they're sitting at 6-6, and my guess is they'll end up potentially 9-7 and just make or just miss the playoffs. By the way, why haven't the Cowboys had great playoff success? Because to win in the playoffs, it's hard with a B quarterback and a B head coach. Aaron Rodgers is an A quarterback. Mike McCarthy's an A head coach. They've had more playoff success. Seattle has Pete Carroll, A head coach. Russell Wilson, A minus quarterback. Experience. They've had more playoff success. Atlanta's got a B head coach and a B plus quarterback. So they've had one great playoff run. By the way, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan are experienced. Dak Prescott's in year 2. Dallas is 6-6 with legal issues, Zeke, Sean Lee, Ty Smith injuries. I think they have a chance down the stretch to go 3-1. And you know what I think? I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be 9-7 and probably narrowly miss out in the playoffs or narrowly make it. My gut feeling is 10 wins get you in. But this we got to take a deep breath, man. This season is so long. We know the World Cup journey takes years, right? We know that all the regional tournaments you play. These NFL seasons, Dallas has been screwed, hot, dead, and now they're viable. Take a deep breath.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.